Hey, look, the global financial system is quietly changing, and almost nobody is paying attention. Global reserves have dropped to their lowest level since 1992. And yet, no panic, no headlines, no chaos. Just silence, which is strange. But there's a reason for that. It didn't happen overnight. It's been building slowly in the background, while everyone is distracted by AI debates and internet drama. The global money system has been quietly shifting, and most people don't even realize it. But to understand why this matters, you first need to understand something important. Why being the world's reserve currency is such a powerful advantage. On the surface, it sounds boring, like something that only matters to bankers. But in reality, it's one of the biggest advantages a country can have. Because being the reserve currency means your money becomes the backbone of global trade. Countries need it to buy oil, to settle international deals, to pay off debts. So they hold that currency, and that creates massive demand, which gives that country access to extremely cheap capital. In simple terms, the world helps fund its economy. And this system didn't happen randomly. It took shape after World War II, when most major economies were rebuilding. One country came out stronger than the rest, and its currency naturally became the global standard. Since then, many people assumed this would never change, like it was permanent, but it's not. And now, for the first time in decades, things are starting to shift. The numbers tell the story. Years ago, this currency dominated global reserves. Over time, that share has slowly declined. Not suddenly, but consistently. And here's where it gets interesting. Every major global event has pushed this trend a little further. After financial crises, countries began questioning their dependence. After sanctions, they started asking something even bigger. What happens if access to the system is restricted? That question changed everything, because it made countries realize something uncomfortable. The system they rely on isn't neutral. It can be controlled. And once that idea spreads, people start looking for alternatives. And that's exactly what happened. New systems began forming. New partnerships started developing. Infrastructure designed to operate outside the traditional system slowly started taking shape. Then came a major turning point, a moment that sent a clear signal to the entire world. That access to global finance could be limited if needed. And after that, countries didn't just question the system. They started preparing backups. Because for decades, almost every international transaction followed the same path. It moved through a central financial network, not because it was the best option, but because there was no alternative. That system gave one country a powerful advantage. It could see global transactions. It benefited from constant demand for its assets, and it had influence over how the system operated. But that kind of dominance doesn't last forever, especially when others start building their own systems. Now we're seeing coordination at a much larger scale. Countries working together, not just to trade, but to build something new, something independent. This isn't random. It's structured, it's intentional, and it's growing. More countries are joining these efforts, expanding partnerships, creating new financial routes, and most importantly, reducing reliance on a single system. There's even development of new tools designed to change how trade is settled, new ways to measure value, new systems to process payments directly between countries. No middle layer, no dependency. And while each of these changes might seem small on their own, together, they tell a much bigger story. Because this isn't about replacing one system overnight. It's about creating options. And once options exist, dependence starts to fade. That's how long-standing systems begin to weaken. Not with a sudden collapse, but with gradual shifts. And we're already seeing signs of that shift. Countries exploring new trade agreements, using different currencies, increasing their reserves in alternative assets, testing new financial pathways, step by step, quietly. And here's the key point. This isn't something that happens in headlines. It happens slowly, until one day, everyone realizes things are no longer the same. So the real question is, are we watching the early stages of a major financial shift, or just temporary changes that fade away? Because if this trend continues, it could reshape how global finance works. And most people won't notice until it's already happened. So now I want your take. Do you think the current system stays dominant? Or are we moving towards something completely different? And if you want to stay connected with me and keep understanding things like this in a simple way, hit the subscribe button and be part of this journey with me.